All right, and we are live, guys. We got the chat window going here. I hope the music's not super loud tonight, so please let me know. I've been adjusting a few things. Just gonna get the focus here going, because we're going to once again draw and stream at the same time. Just gonna get my camera right here. Get this leveled. All right. So, quite a bit late from 8:30, but I hope that's okay. We're just gonna have a quick session today, like make an illustration for the Saturday videos, something that is not too long, and just gonna have some fun. All right. So let's start. Let's get the default brush. Everything's going. Let me make sure the iPad's on there. Yes, it's all good. Okay. Of course, I'm not recording. And now we're recording. All right, we got 3 people in the chat. Make sure to say hello. We're gonna do this quick session today. Just got another sub. Try to read that. Ismail Molina. Welcome to the channel. Not sure if you're an active viewer at the moment from the stream or if you're subbing from another video, but welcome. How are you guys doing tonight? Hopefully not too bad. Still getting my drawing hand warm up here. This is it's a big curve. I might have to split it in 2 parts. All right. Hey Mega, hey Danielle. How's it going? How are you tonight? Can you guys please let me know if the music is like an okay level or if it feels a little bit too loud? Because I think I got it at 25%. Oh, my art style. My art style, I personally call it flat illustration. So by flat, just mean that like there's not a lot of textures at the moment, and there's not a lot of let's just say like 3D volume to it, but I would call it flat minimalistic illustration. Oh, hi Nishi. Sorry you're in class. Wow. Okay. Hopefully you're not gonna, get caught. I don't know. Hope it's okay. But I'll be on here for a while. I think I'll be online for at least like an hour or so. Man, I know, Daniel, like this question about Procreate, when is it gonna be live? I wish I could tell you with, certainty. It's a question that for sure I get it a lot on the stream, or like in the videos I mean. And all that I can say is, we know that the iPad OS is out, 13 iPad OS, and that is like a key factor for Procreate to come out because it uses the new, the shorter latency on the pen and a lot of the features that the new OS system can actually give to the pen, to the Apple Pencil. However, as part of the selected beta, like I did not get that information, and all that I can tell you is that the beta has let's just say like a time frame of 90 days. At least that's what it says on some of these the messages that you can get by using the beta. And this could be a default timer. This could be just like, you know, a normal thing that apps actually give, like, you know, 90 days and then they expire. So they did say it's for the end of year, and I would imagine that I would say November, like late November, I would like it to be released personally, but like who knows, right? It could be late November, early December. And there's more, like guys, like in fact, you know, sorry, I'm just trying to get this curve right. The fact that we have a few other apps in the market right now, as we know now, we have, you know, Fresco, we have a few releases. Procreate themselves, the team behind Procreate, they could be looking at these things and they could be now taking just like a few more, you know, looks about what's missing, what could be better. So this is the best way that I can actually answer this question. One thing that is in my previous video that I found that it was really cool, just looking at the Brush Studio and the things that are coming out, you know, with the, you got the color dynamics and all that stuff. And I thought that it was really cool how Procreate is actually giving us, let's just say, that exclusive brush set. And that's something that I hadn't even explored yet. I didn't even go there until on that video. Like literally, there's so much to do. I was finishing up the Skillshare course. I'm still drawing and making live streams. I'm preparing a new kind of schedule, actually, by the way, which is something that I still... oh, you think my voice has a little echo? That's interesting, because there's only one microphone. But maybe it's the music that I'm playing, but that doesn't make any sense. But anyways, I'll make sure to... I'm going to nail all these things and make sure everything's working fine. As you guys can see, like my stream is really simple. I don't have any skin or like overlay. The fact that these lights... Oh, okay, so there's definitely an echo. So let me test something here quickly, guys, and you guys let me know. I see why, I think. 1 second, guys. Is this better now? Is the echo gone? You let me know. I'm just gonna keep drawing here because nice. All right, sorry about that. So okay, that's awesome. And do you guys still hear music playing in the background, or there's no music and it's only my voice? That's the last question about hardware. Huh, okay, so there's no music. That's actually surprising, because I thought that they would be. You know, it's better to have no echo than to have music and echo. Hey Adson, hello. Oh, little music. Okay, so there is music. Okay guys, we're getting somewhere. So I'm gonna turn up the music to about here, and I'm just gonna leave it there. Thanks a lot, Mega, for all the answers, and you guys too. I'm definitely still getting the hang. Okay, so we're set, guys. All right. Anyways, what I was just saying is, I'm still trying to draw this line. or this curve. Here we go. That I want to start a new schedule, and sorry guys, this line, I'm gonna actually make a new layer here. In the schedule, what I want to do is like Monday, I'm gonna try to make shorter videos, and those videos are going to be videos where we're gonna talk about general stuff. And within the general stuff, it could be like questions you may have about, design, actually, the possibility of even doing design as a career. Like, what are some of the challenges, some of the things that people can face within the design practice? So I think in my previous stream, I was talking about what are the common mistakes a lot of artists do when they're actually doing some kind of work, being that freelance work, or they're starting at a studio. Then I want to move on to other things like what are the best practices when you're working with teams. And there's so much knowledge like throughout the years, like of me just working on studio environment, that I really want to actually spread that knowledge as well. So I'm thinking that Mondays is actually one of the best days for that, because it's kind of like a down day for like content in that sense. Like there's no I usually keep tutorials for Wednesdays. So like on Wednesdays, we're gonna have the mini tutorial sessions, whether they're on Procreate 5, Procreate 4, and I also want to move on to other apps as well. I really want to talk about Affinity. I want to talk about, just other drawing apps in general. And then finally, Thursdays, which is tonight, I really want to try to do more live streams and talk to you guys and answer questions. Any questions that you may have, we can answer them here live. Hey, Mustafa, good morning. Good morning, my friend. It's evening time for me. But I really want to answer all of these questions that you may have. We can just do it here. And also like draw a draw session together. And finally, on Saturdays, it's either going to be, it's pretty much the special event. So that could be something very big news, like Procreate 5 news. It could be a drawing video, which is what I would like it to be. Like the main purpose would be a drawing video, like a speed paint video, which is actually what we're doing right now with this drawing. So that's basically what I'm thinking for schedule, just so you guys know. And I actually chose a very complicated drawing tonight here because these curves are killer. Procreate, I mean, I have to say, I love the quick shape, but sometimes these curves kill me. Gonna have to divide it into multiple parts here, and sorry for all the multiple attempts here, but we're getting there. But anyways, it's interesting also, like who was just asking a bit, just Mega, about my art style, because that's something that it's really hard to pinpoint or to say when you're starting on illustration and drawing. It's really hard to have that answer right away. If you do have that answer, if you know your art style from the get-go, from the beginning, you are a very lucky person. Like to me, for example, it took me many, trials, or I'm still interested in drawing other styles, but I am focusing now on this specific style, which is the flat illustration style. And the reason for that is that as a solo artist, once you're actually making art, you get more recognition once you hone in. So I do believe in that after many years of working over studios, and there's one kind of job or position that's called a generalist, and I've always been a generalist. And if you're wondering what a generalist is, it's basically a guy that can, or gal, that can wear multiple hats. So you can be You can be making logos in 1 week, and from a logo, the next week you're actually doing a poster, and then you're doing animation. And then the styles also vary. It can be something that's very 2D, and then you have to help with some 3D work. And the thing about the generalist is that it's amazing how skilled you get on multiple things. But with everything, there's a good side and a bad side, or like not such a good side. And the not so good side of generalist is that it becomes harder for people to recognize your work as an artist, as an art style, because you're doing so many things that it's hard for you to be known for one thing. And I think a very just simple example I would say is like a restaurant that serves any kind of food. Then you really don't know what the restaurant is about. And I think that's one of the best examples I can actually give about, a generalist. But that being said, if you're just starting out in a studio, or a design like a small place, or if you're just working by yourself, by being a generalist, you're probably gonna get more work because you're offering more things. So that's what I did for like a really, really long time of just my work career. And here on YouTube, I just have now a chance to talk to you guys, to make videos, tutorials, and to be able to work on this specific design. But anyways, guys, talking a lot here about all this stuff. Like, let me know if you guys have any questions. If in the past couple of weeks you're trying to do something here on design or like on Procreate or any other drawing apps, and you've actually encountered any challenges, just let me know in the chat, and I'll try my best to answer every single one of you. The other good news is that we just hit 3K and we are gearing towards 4K. So the channel has really picked up lately, which is amazing. There were definitely many times, which was about like a period of 6 months, where not much was happening, and tutorials were doing okay, but many of the videos didn't really pass, like sometimes it wouldn't even pass 500 views, and things are starting to pick up, which is really, really great. It gives me more motivation to keep making content, videos, live streams, and all that stuff. And also, of course, nothing would be valuable if it wasn't for your feedback and your support, guys. So again, thank you so much for all the kind words, comments, everything that you guys also provide to this channel, insights, ideas. These are all super, super valid. So again, I just wanted to say thank you for that. How's the drawing doing? So we got most of the body. We're just gonna keep going here with the legs. Let me make sure I'm recording. Yes, everything is good. So yeah, that's pretty much the update. The other update so far that I'm trying to do lately is I've been trying to make more animations on Procreate so that I can basically test out the system or the app as a beta version and let them know how things are going, what things could be improved. And again, that's why it's so good to hear you guys' feedback on some of the things that could be better. And for some of those ideas, I'm definitely going to pass forward. Like features, I think the other day, someone in the comments section, I'm sorry, I won't remember now the username, but they were just talking how it could be like, since now Procreate 5 is coming up with CMYK, how it would be cool if it could have some sort of a print preview if you actually wanted to print straight up from Procreate. That might be a bigger ask, but if you could at least get a preview, and not and then it would somehow, let's just say, like make it into a PDF that you could take it to print somewhere, but at least you would see a preview before you had to open in some other software. Those things, those like little things, they're always cool, and I think they're super valid. And of course, we haven't forgotten about our gradient tool. So hopefully that's something that they're working on. You know, also in my last video I was talking about that, because now on Procreate 5 you do have a chance now to have two colors, primary and a secondary. And to be completely honest, we're still not sure if that means that we're getting a gradient tool, but it's certainly the right direction. It's certainly going in the right way, because I guess what I'm trying to say is, like, even if we got two colors doesn't mean we can make like a multi-gradient, like a 4 colors. We will only have 2, but if we at least can make a gradient of 2 colors, if that does come out, this will be a nice addition. I've also been hearing quite a bit about other apps that I need to cover in the channel. People are requesting a little bit more for Affinity. There's some videos about Art Studio Pro, I believe, and some people asking about Rough Animator. There's quite a lot to do, guys. It's a lot to so much to do and so little time kind of sentence, but we'll get there. I think with this new schedule and the things that we want to do, at least on my side here, you know, the videos on Monday for general questions, getting into Wednesday for mini tutorials, Thursday's stream, usually around this time, around 8:30. That's where I'm aiming to start. And finally, a video on Saturday mornings and Wednesday. So basically Wednesdays and Saturdays will always be 9 a.m. And I've tested multiple things, especially on Wednesday. On Saturday, I always knew the mornings is always good. But on Wednesdays, I was trying to upload videos at noon. I tried to upload videos at like 2 p.m. or something. This is all Eastern time, by the way. And I just decided that as long as you stick to a time, a specific time, you can just post it on that time, whether you're posting at, I don't know, midnight or 9 a.m. But because the Saturday videos, they're always there at 9 a.m., I just decided to keep the Wednesday videos about the same time. I am also a bit curious to know if any of you guys have tried, or, you know, have any of you guys actually tried the Skillshare course that I put it out yet? Just let me know. It's no pressure. I'm just curious to know some feedback. Yes. Oh, when I'm sketching, that's a good question. So it's funny how I do, because basically my week is very short. I still have, have my daytime job. I have to go to work, and then I also have to do this channel and all the things. So when I'm doing my sketches, I actually try to get them as far as I can in terms of a resolved line, just because it will help me when I'm actually shooting these videos. I gotta take them to edit later and cut all of these pauses, all of these talking moments that we're having right now. I actually have to take them out when I'm doing the speed paint videos. So if I started, and also especially with this art style specifically, I think it really helps me if I get something that's a little bit more, concise. So I think it's good for me to have something a little bit more solid for the sketches. But that being said, I usually start on paper and I do a very rough sketch. Something that I don't know if I have it here. This is like, it's something that I'm working for Procreate 5, but I'm not sure if you guys can see. This looks kind of final to be honest, but it's just like a sketch. So, and this is also a new notebook or notepad. There's not a lot of drawings here just yet, but it's good to go put your ideas on paper first, and then I take it into the iPad. There's one thing that I've been doing here that I'm not sure, you guys probably can't see it, but I've made a tutorial on how to have an undo for quick shape. So that's how I'm able to actually draw some lines here, and I go back. Oh, the camera just finished the clip. We just got the focus. But anyways, if you guys haven't watched this video yet, it's a video about quick shape. I highly recommend you guys watch it in the channel, in the tutorial section. It doesn't have a lot of views, so I do think that it's kind of gone a little bit under the radar. But in that video, at the very end of that tutorial, I explain how to actually get basically this undo or redo feature for a quick shape. So if you have something that you just drawn that you kind of missed the mark, and you've clicked away from the quick shape menu, you may think that you just have to redo that line, but you don't have to. Anyways, the only reason why I can't show right now is because the way that I'm streaming, I'm getting the screen straight out of the iPad, almost like the feed, and I'm putting that into the stream. So unfortunately, it will get better. Things will get better, guys. I'll get like maybe another camera or something, because I am already using this camera, the top-down one I'm using for these Saturday videos. So I wouldn't be able to use this one to stream and record what I want at the moment. But in any case, unfortunately, you guys can't see me, well, like my hands drawing more than whatever you can see from this feed right now. Let's see if you guys have any other questions. Let me know if you guys have any other questions. Can be questions about design too, just in general. For example, what are your biggest, this is a good thing that I like to talk about actually in the stream today. What are your biggest website references? For example, do you like Pinterest when you're looking at things to illustrate and draw? Do you like, do you like Behance, ArtStation, Tumblr? Do you guys have any preferences? Instagram? And my second question, after your favorite website for references, is do you think that it's good to use reference websites when you're making an illustration or thinking about making an illustration? Because the biggest thing is that people may think is that sometimes looking at these websites obscures your creativity or like hinders your creativity, because you end up looking at so many great illustrations that maybe you think like, wow, this looks so much better than what I can do, or like, can I ever get to the level? Or you may be inclined to actually look at something and be really drawn to that reference. Let me know what you guys think in the chat. I'll give you a little bit of time, and then I'll give you guys like my personal opinion as well. But at least, well, let's see, what are your favorite artists? I do have lots of artists that I like. One, I think his name is Sebastian Munoz. Not sure where exactly he's from. He's a really good illustrator. He's doing now stuff for Apple. He just blew up. And actually, sorry, this is another Sebastian. The one that I'm thinking is, I think, Sebastian Curry. And he's the guy who's like actually, he's been doing amazing illustrations, has been drawing for Apple. and lots of big name brands. His work is on the walls of like some Apple stores. Who else? There's one girl, I think her name is Lynn Frizz or Lynn Fritz, something like that. They all do like a lot of these like flat style illustrations, by the way. Like I think this is something that is super cool and modern. And Sebastian, I think he uses a little bit more texture in his drawings, which is super cool. Something that I would like to actually do more. In fact, this illustration right here has a little bit of texture, but it's nothing, once we get towards the end, it's nothing crazy, it's just something on the t-shirt. And I'm sure there's a couple more names, but you know, just off the top of my head, those are the peeps that I usually watch. But now, just going back to the question for the stream, guys, I do love to look at Pinterest. I do look at Behance, Instagram, all that stuff, but the one thing that I want to talk about is like, if you think that this, you know, looking at references is a good or a bad thing when you actually want to make an illustration, or if you're looking for maybe an idea or something. So at the very beginning, I used to think that I should not be looking at these websites, because I was like, you gotta, you know, make something original and creative. If you're looking at these websites, you're actually gonna get influenced somehow, and I think you should not look. And that's how I used to think. But then after a while, there's this like human condition, and what happens is like we got really used to what's really common for us. So like an art style that you keep doing over and over, it's a great thing, and that's actually what I'm working towards. But if you get too, you know, comfortable with that art style or that thing, then it's gonna be hard for you to try new things or try like different things even in your art style, especially if you're not looking for other references out there to kind of feed off your own creativity. So after a while, I started looking again at websites and stuff, and saving references and collecting references. And this is amazing. This actually has been amazing. It's been helping me a lot with one of the challenges that I was talking in my previous stream, which I'm not sure if you guys know, but I set the whole reason for this channel and the whole reason of everything that I've been doing is I set myself a challenge to keep drawing on the iPad, not like daily, because that would be quite a lot of work or time, but to come up with a new illustration every week, at least one illustration. And it's been more than that, but what I've been doing is that I've been saving all those drawings, all those illustrations onto my iPad. They're mostly digital, and I save them in folders. They are bi-monthly folders, so every 2 months I keep everything on that one group, and then I make another group, and I name it the whatever months. So right now it's gonna be October, November. I did start this after January, that's why it's kind of broken. What I mean is like December is gonna be left alone, but next year I'll start another one, and that's gonna be January, February, and so on and so forth. So by starting that, I've been able to look at my progress, or like my drawings, every 2 months, and I go into each folder and I really can see a difference. And it's something that starts like slowly, and you know, you kind of start to build up to a point where you see that you're being more conscious about your decisions. You're not just trying something because you like it. You're really trying something because that's kind of like where your art style it's going to. And once again, looking at those references really helped me to feel more, you know, like just creative in that sense of like I always come up, at least like in social media, I try to say that what I like to do is that I like to draw geometric characters in everyday life. That's basically how I describe my art style. And that is not, personally and honestly, that's not something new. Like drawing people in their everyday lives is what a lot of artists have done and they still do today. But then I put that spin of like, I really like geometry and geometric shapes, and coming from like graphic design and all that stuff. So that sentence, what I'm trying to say is that that sentence took me a good time to actually come up with, or even discover that that's what I was doing. So I really think that if you can set yourself for one of these challenges, and it doesn't have to be daily, once again, it doesn't have to be something that you're it doesn't have to be something you're really like suffering to get to. Still should be something you are pushing yourself, but not to the point of like exhaustion. I hope that all makes sense. If it does, please let me know in the chat if what I'm talking about makes sense. But anyways, let me know, what do you think about those reference websites? I should definitely post a list in the future of my favorite artists for you guys. I'm also so curious to know like where you guys located, where most of you are actually watching from. Are you guys watching, like, are you guys in the States, or are you like very far away? Let me know in the chat where are you guys watching from. And sorry, I just remember one more thing. A lot of you have been asking me about this Apple Pencil right here that I'm using right now. They're asking like, how does it look like a pencil? What is this? How is that possible? And I keep promising I'm going to make the video where I actually show it's a product, it's like a review, kind of product review. So that's still coming up, guys. That's what I just want to say. It's just there's quite a bit still to talk about. Procreate 5. There's a couple more videos. We're still gonna talk about, I think, CMYK. And maybe one more feature. But it's coming up soon. I wish I could listen to music right now, but the music's all playing on the stream. And if I play music, it's going to, is that a circle? Maybe it is. Let's just do a circle. If I play music, I think it's going to feed in the mic, and anyways. Also, do you guys like Thursdays for a stream? Do you think that's a good day? What's your favorite day for streaming? Maybe that's something I should put in the community section. Like, just do an open question. The reason why I like it, it's because it's actually one of my free days that I can actually do this for a little while. Alright. Let's get this part done. Alright. See how we're doing with time here on the camera. We're good. Let's do our favorite trick. Which is the reference layer. And start coloring. Time of stream is perfect. Watching streams, my time is in morning is relaxing. Sorry. Yes, that's awesome. Thank you. I do find it both times are really, really good, mornings and evenings, to watch streams. You know, starting your day, or just kind of finishing up the evening. Watching some streams is also really nice. So we're just throwing some quick colors here. I'm actually going to have to look at my reference layer. So that is not that color. And I forgot about the shoes. Basically what I do, guys, is like I draw the rough and then I do a color blocking. I call it color blocking, and then I do the full on like final line work in colors. So the layer that I'm turning it on right now is not like a finished version of the drawing, even though it looks like it's got a series of imperfections. What I do here is just like really blocking the colors. And I also know that for color blocking, you could also do this. You can do color blocking as tiny as this square, and that's usually what a lot of artists do. But because we're working digitally, it's not a lot more work to actually just do color blocking with the right, with the right aspect ratio or the full size. All right, let's go back here and turn that off. And we've put some shadows down. I'm gonna create a new layer. Gonna get the background color. I'm actually going to do fill layer. And now create a new one. So it's white. The shoes are white. Oops, I actually forgot a couple of things. The line work. It's a couple lines. How do I choose colors? Very good question. So for a while, I was actually using Color Hunt, which I think is Galshare's website for colors, and it's really good. I like how minimalistic the palettes are, and I like what I really like about that website is the ratio of colors, and that's something I was also talking on my other previous stream. There's a general rule that I like to call it the 60-30-10 rule, and that's for colors. I'm gonna show you in 1 second. I'm just gonna finish this line and I'm going to show you guys. Okay. So what is this rule of 60-30-10? I'm gonna go into another drawing here that I can show you a little bit more clearly, such as this one. Basically, what you want to achieve is a palette or like colors that are helping you in your illustration, not something that's confusing or something that's kind of like directing your eye in like too many ways and it's not really honing in on what needs to actually be the source on that illustration. So 60% it's going to be, in this case here, it's all of these like, you know, ochre vanilla kind of colors here, and you can have multiple tones of that color. So as you can see, the sun here in this case is like the same color as this frame and the same color as the skin in the character, but it's also the same tone as in the background, it's just that the background's a bit lighter. So that's 60% of the picture. 30% is actually the white color. So the white bits here in the shoes and the shirt, they're all like balanced, they're all separated, so everything is like equally balanced. So you have white on the two sides of the illustration, and then finally 10% I'm putting it on green. So green is the color of these little plants here on the sides. Again, they're set on the sides. Everything is kind of like encompassing the character who's sitting or lying in the middle of the frame. So if you have trouble choosing colors or finding colors, I really recommend you to go with a minimal color palette. And again, if you can use a minimal color palette, try to stick with the 60-30-10 rule, because it's going to help you at the end of the day. If you have one color, the 10, it's going to be your accent color. It's colors that are really going to put just like here and there, and those are going to jump up. It's a very similar premise here with this illustration. I still got the kind of vanilla background. It just happens to be a color I've been using quite a bit, especially for backgrounds. So I got the white color here for the 30. This one is a little bit more complicated because there's one more color, so I think it is 4. So as long as you divide, so if you have 4 colors, you can do 50, like 50, 30, 20, 10, something like that. And you keep trying to balance your colors. That is as best as I can explain. So let me just keep going here. Now we're gonna get some blue or teal. I still forgot a couple parts there. Nice, Vicky. Welcome to the channel, Vicky. I think these laces are blue. Are they? No, they're not. So all right, this will be probably the last clip for this recording. Okay. So what about the phone? I really can't remember. Yes, the phone is in here as well. Let's get some shadows, some other kinds of shadows. This is a little better. The other really cool thing about just like finding your art style is that things get easier. Because essentially you create these like little rules. For example, my characters always have this kind of like shadows from shirts and pants. So you create your own formula and you just go from there. Okay, interesting enough. I'm gonna try to do this with the eraser actually. I just want to get a better curve here. Like this maybe. Is it? Yeah. Okay. It disconnects. It doesn't, of course. Let's see here. Oh, of course. Let's see if I can just do that. Oh. Open here. Oh, I know why. Set to reference. You've made it, Mishi. You're back. Oh my goodness. Oh, thank you. I love the colors. And which quality is better to work when illustration? Right, that's a very, very good question. I'm actually gonna type in the chat. So I do think, like, if you're doing stuff for, so this is what I do. This is the resolution for Dribble. It's 2732 by 2048 pixels. So what I do, because Dribble is not a square, it's like a little bit different. It's like a little rectangle. So what I do is that I get that resolution done, and then it's just a crop to become a square on Instagram, which is 2048 by 2048. So by getting those two resolutions done, you can have a square as long as you're not cropping, like, you know, once you make the first resolution, you're actually going to lose a little bit if your illustration is taking all sides of the canvas. That's why, for example, when I'm making this one, even though this one is a vertical one, I can make this into a square, I can make this into a rectangle, and of course I'm going to have more space on the sides, but that's what, you know, it's a minimalistic kind of illustration, so I think that is fine. And I also try to scale whenever I, you know, if I make it into a square, I might just like scale this character up a little bit. So if you, the good thing about doing those things is that there's a term called future proofing, and once phones are getting better, your colors always remind me of ice cream. I think that's a great that's a great thing, right? But to finish that thought, if you're making your illustrations with higher resolution, you are future proofing them for phones who have better resolution. Instagram may change their rules in the future and actually allow you to have illustrations with or like better resolution when you're uploading artwork. And if you have, like, say you make an illustration and someone wants to, I don't know, like buy your illustration or like use it on a t-shirt or something, you already have something that has more pixels than if you just, you know, draw with like a very small canvas. So I like to it's what I say, like to future proof illustrations. So I know that I have resolution if something happens, like people actually want to print them or do something cool. I hope that helps to answer this question. Okay. Let's put this back behind the hand. This little guy here is just looking on his own Instagram right now. Okay. That's a good, it's something I haven't thought about. My colors remind of ice cream. It's actually pretty cool. Kind of like that, guys. Oops. So let's get that color back. No, I want it white. Okay. So let's make another little thing here. What's your favorite time to draw for you guys? Like, do you prefer to draw in the evenings, mornings? Let me know in the chat. That's why sometimes my Instagram cuts my drawings. Yes, and that is why. If you are, the thing about Instagram, like, to be honest, even I still don't fully get it, but Instagram allows you to upload 4:5 crop or some other crops maybe, but the safest way to actually go about Instagram is the square. That's the ultimate truth. And even though Instagram does a good job when you upload pictures that are not square, it kind of adapts them once you're looking at the grid. If you even go to my Instagram, which, by the way, guys, like, if you guys haven't yet followed me on Instagram, I would hugely appreciate. I'm just gonna type my Instagram here. I got 2 accounts, but I'm trying to kind of grow like an account from scratch, because I think, like, my older accounts, like, there's some stuff like it's really old, and I don't think it's actually, it's sometimes it goes weird, like I'm actually like not seen by my friends when I post something, so I think there's something weird with that account. So this is my Instagram account. If you guys would like to check it out, give me a follow, I would hugely appreciate that. But if you look on that Instagram, I think I'm a little bit, no, I think on that one I still have images that are not perfectly cropped. So that is a good example, and from now on I think I will stick to square. All right, I gotta make sure that I'm gonna finish this on time. Actually, that's something else I need to do for this stream. Like, I need to make proper, just have like information, just like do a better job with the graphics. But anyways, everything at its time. I'm thinking that if I do get around 10K, guys, I would redesign like a lot of things actually. Make a better intro for the videos. Just tweak the logo. Nice. Sorry, I'm just trying to read that. The preview is so tiny. Welcome to the channel. I actually need to do a better job with that as well. Like, how to get this preview bigger. I'm just gonna scale this up. Here we go. That's better. All right. I just have to. Okay. Fix that. Make one more shadow here. Gonna remove a little bit, like so. Oh, Mega's trying to say something, but it keeps saying message retracted. So I don't know what it is, man. Sorry. Is the name my pen name? Is the name Ghostpaper? It's like my pen name. I'm not sure what that means, man. Sorry. Ghostpaper is like your pen name. Sorry, man. Misha, do you think that in Inktober is okay to upload digital stuff? Have you watched my Inktober video? I actually talked just there. I just made a video just about that. And I'd say like it's worth watching. I do give my personal opinion there. So I think it just, you know, if you just watch that video, you will get all the information. The reason why, at least for me to explain to you guys, that I'm not doing Inktober is because there's so much for me to do to actually keep up with the channel that I just don't have time to actually take one more challenge besides making these drawings. That being said, I think it's awesome for you guys to participate on Inktober. Of course, knowing that you don't have to do, again, daily drawings if it's too much for you. Like if you think that is a lot of work or you just can't do it because you got other stuff to do, like, you know, some people gotta take care of, they have to work or they have families, and it's totally understandable. All right, guys, I think now we're just going to make, actually this doesn't need to be select. Just gonna do clipping mask. Get this color. I gotta remember, that's the brush. I did use here, I think was this one. Yes, I think so. Yeah. Now we're just going to clear that up. Okay, that makes sense. And I forgot something. This, let's just see. Oops. So it really looks like, it looks kind of cool. Just gonna blur that just a bit. Duplicate, blur more. So it's like something really glowing on its face. Like that. Maybe this guy is head. And I'm just gonna turn off all of that. All right, guys, here's the drawing for today. Yes, so I would definitely recommend, Mishi, for you to watch that video right after this live stream. I really go into, you know, talking about Inktober as an event, and also like if Inktober is actually a good thing for digital artists to participate. The last question, how do you decide from where the light is coming? That is something that I usually try to decide sooner in the illustration. This one is like, I was doing like illustrations that the light is actually more directional. I'm just gonna pause this video here at the top. I'll show you guys something. I've been working on these really cool illustrations for like an animation actually on Procreate. And what's a good example here? I think this guy. And like here, as you can see, like most of the shadows are coming from like the left side, and the lights are kind of coming from, there's like a multiple sources here, but with some liberty here, with some creative liberty, I was trying to put the shadows always coming from the left. So sometimes bottom left, sometimes coming from the top left here, but mostly from the left side. And I mean, as long as, it depends really on what you're doing, what kind of art style you're creating. I do think that I have another example here. So basically with this thing, what I'm trying to do is like, it's an animation where every frame, the art style changes. And I'm still at the very beginning of this. But I think that once it's done, I think it's gonna be super, super cool. So that's another thing that I've been doing on my part-time. I've been working on these illustrations. So yeah, so I think like as long as you set up a rough, thanks Mishi. As long as you keep some sort of a guideline where the shadows are coming from, you just keep sketching that and leaving like a reference layer. By the time that you get to finalize the drawing, you can then make sure that the shadows are all coming from the same direction. So I think that's it for this video, guys. I'm going to sign off for now because basically we've just done our illustration. I'll reopen right here. I'm gonna have to edit this video, prepare it for Saturday morning. I hope you guys watched that one as well. So thank you so much for watching, guys. Thank you so much for staying here with the stream. Make sure to watch the videos that I've mentioned in the stream. So there's the Inktober one, there's the one about quick shape. I highly recommend that. In a lot of my tutorials, there are bonus things within the videos themselves. So make sure you watch those tutorials if you want to learn a little bit more about Procreate. Alright, Mathieu. Alright, everybody. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Ciao.